Hello, and welcome to Learning English. Are you currently studying English? Excellent. Let's explore the language together through a fascinating story. Please remember to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Let's begin. Iran is a nation located in the Middle East. It is a vast territory. Within Iran, you can find a wide variety of landscapes. There are towering mountains and expansive arid deserts. Green regions also exist. Numerous distinct groups of people inhabit this land. They possess different customs and speak various languages. This mixture of populations makes Iran a nation of great diversity. Iran possesses a history that is exceptionally long and filled with significant events. This history commenced many millennia ago. Throughout this extensive period, the country experienced major transformations. It was at times a component of large, powerful empires. The concepts, art, and philosophies from Iran traveled to distant lands. This illustrates how Iranian culture disseminated and influenced the world. People who have inhabited this land for a very long time have consistently called it Iran. The word Iran signifies nobility, people from other nations, particularly in Europe. It's frequently referred to the land as Persia. This name originated from a single region within Iran. However, the inhabitants always recognized their country as Iran. This book narrates the story of Iran's journey across all these millennia. It is an examination of how the nation and its people navigated through different eras. We will observe how the ideas and the essence of Iran stayed strong, even during difficult times. The story demonstrates that Iran is a place with its own unique identity and a rich, ongoing history too. Old Iran and Great King Zay, long time ago. Peoples known as the Medes and Persians arrived in the land of Iran, or groups who migrated from other locations. The Medes settled in the northwestern area, the Persians settled in the south. These groups were pastoralists, herding animals such as cattle. The Medes established the first Iranian kingdom. They were victorious in battles and expanded their territory. Later, a wise man named Zoroaster lived. His teachings gave rise to a new religion. He educated people about two powerful forces. One was good, named Ahura Mazda, and one was evil, named Ahriman. People were required to choose between good and evil. Zoroaster taught of a judgment after death and realms for good and bad souls, akin to heaven and hell. This faith became prominent in the land. Subsequently, a Persian leader called Cyrus the Great grew very powerful. He was a member of a family known as the Achaemenids. Cyrus battled the Medes and became the sovereign of their lands. He constructed an immense empire, extended across many different territories and peoples. Cyrus was renowned for his kindness to the people within his empire. He permitted them to maintain their own religions and lifestyles. He even assisted the Jewish people in returning to their homeland after their exile. Cyrus passed away after ruling for many years. Following Cyrus, other monarchs governed the Achaemenid Empire. A particularly important king was Darius. The first Darius fortified the empire and instituted rules to ensure it functioned efficiently. He divided the vast empire into smaller provinces, each with its own leader. He constructed many magnificent buildings, such as the renowned palace complex of Persepolis. These structures displayed the might of the kings. The empire was interconnected by roads, and a specific language was used for official government documents. The Achaemenid Empire was enormous, but it also engaged in wars. The Persians fought against the people of ancient Greece. There were famous conflicts like the battles of Marathon, Salamis, and Plataea. These wars were difficult for both sides. The Greek city-states resisted and prevented the Persian army from conquering their land. Later, a young leader from Greece named Alexander the Great arrived with his army. Alexander was a brilliant soldier and won numerous battles. He fought against the final Achaemenid king, Darius III, and conquered the Persian Empire. Alexander introduced Greek ideas and culture to the region, even took wives from Persia. Yet, the ancient Persian culture and religion remained strong among the people. The Zoroastrian religion did not regard Alexander as a hero. After Alexander's death, his vast empire was partitioned. The era of the great Achaemenid kings concluded, but the memory of their empire and the ideas from that ancient time endured in the land. 3. New empires and old foes. After the fragmentation of Alexander the Great's empire, new kings rose to power. In the land now known as Iran, initially the Parthians ruled. They were adept warriors, particularly skilled at fighting from horseback. The Parthian kings governed a large territory and frequently clashed with the mighty Roman Empire. These conflicts over land and influence in the West were protracted and challenging. The Parthian capital was Ctesiphon, situated near a major river. They permitted diverse cultures within their cities, even retaining some Greek customs. Following the Parthians, the Sassanid kings assumed power. They originated from the Fars region, the same area as the very first Persian kings. The Sassanids aimed to restore the great empire of the past. They elevated the ancient religion of Zoroastrianism to a position of great importance for the state and its people. This action helped to forge a strong Iranian identity once more. The Sassanids had formidable leaders. King Shapur I was one such ruler. He won significant battles, and even captured Roman emperors. This demonstrated the strength of the Sassanid army and empire. During this period, a new faith called Manichaeism emerged. Founded by Mani, however, the Sassanid rulers disapproved of this new religion and suppressed it. Other Sassanid kings are recalled for their good governance. Khosrow-Anushirvan was a later king, celebrated for being just and equitable. He improved laws and fostered the country's growth. The Sassanid era was a period when Iranian art, scholarship, and culture flourished. However, the Sassanids also engaged in many prolonged wars. Their greatest adversary was the Byzantine Empire, the eastern portion of the old Roman Empire. These wars persisted for centuries and were extremely costly. They consumed vast numbers of soldiers and significant amounts of money. These arduous and extended conflicts weakened both the Sassanid and Byzantine empires. The Sassanid rule endured for approximately 400 years. They kept the concept of Iran alive and defended its borders against powerful enemies. They confronted numerous challenges, but their era was crucial for reviving the strength and culture of Iran after the Greek period. This chapter of history reveals new leaders confronting old challenges and forging a new, strong empire for new ideas and big changes. The Sassanid Empire grew weak following numerous wars. Subsequently, new armies arrived from the south. These were Arab armies, and they introduced a new religion called Islam. The Arab armies fought and defeated the Sassanids. This marked the end of the Sassanid kings and their dominion. A profound change came to Iran. Islam gradually became the predominant religion for the majority of the population. Iranian culture merged with Arab culture in numerous respects. The Persian language also evolved, adopting many words from Arabic. Yet the Persian language did not vanish. It remained vital for literature and scholarship. Iranian people were highly intelligent and greatly assisted the new Islamic rulers. They helped to establish and administer the large empires that followed, such as the Abbasid Empire. Persian ideas contributed to the strength of these new empires. This period was also significant because Persian literature and poetry experienced a powerful resurgence. Many great poets composed beautiful books and poems in Persian. One of the most celebrated was Ferdowsi. He authored a very long epic poem titled the Shahnameh, meaning Book of Kings. This poem recounted the ancient tales of Iran's history and its heroes from before the age of Islam. It was instrumental in preserving the Iranian language and its ancient stories. Other renowned poets like Omar Khayyam, Rumi, Saadi, and Hafez wrote magnificent poems about life, love, and spiritual concepts. People worldwide still read and cherish their poems today. A specific branch of Islam, focusing on experiencing God intimately, known as Sufism, also became important and flourished in Iran. Later, groups of people from the lands of the Turks came to govern parts of Iran. The Seljuk Turks were one such group. They too admired Persian culture and patronized art and learning. Then, a very difficult period arrived. Mongol armies from the east invaded Iran. Their leader was Genghis Khan. They wrought terrible destruction. Numerous cities were razed, and many people were slain. It was a time of immense sorrow. But even after this great devastation, the spirit of Iran and its culture remained unbroken. Persian language, art, and philosophies were so resilient that they began to influence the Mongol rulers who settled. In Iran, the Mongols who governed Iran, known as the Ilkhans, started to appreciate and adopt Persian culture and its concepts. Later, another formidable ruler named Timur, who was similar to the Mongols, emerged. He also brought conflict and destruction. Yet through all these invasions and changes, the idea of Iran as a unique land with a great culture, profound thoughts, and beautiful art stayed alive in the hearts of the people. This cultural fortitude helped Iran maintain its distinct identity through many arduous centuries. 5. A different Islam. Following a period of conflict among various factions, a new family rose to prominence in Iran. They were the Safavids, originating from the northwest. This family was associated with a religious order. Their devoted followers were courageous soldiers called the Qizilbash, meaning redheads, for their distinctive hats. In the year 1501, a young leader of this family, named Ismail, became the first Safavid Shah, or king. He made a pivotal decision. That permanently altered Iran. He mandated that 12, or Shia Islam, would be the sole religion for the entire nation. Prior to this, most Iranians followed Sunni Islam. Making Iran officially Shia distinguished it from its powerful Sunni neighbors, such as the Ottoman Empire to the west. This was a significant political move to forge a unique Iranian state identity. At times, this change was imposed upon the populace, and practices like publicly denouncing early Sunni figures angered many. For Shia Muslims in Iran, a deeply sorrowful and significant event from early Islamic history became central to their devotion. This was the narrative of Imam Hussein, who was martyred at the Battle of Karbala long ago. This story of sacrifice and suffering strengthened Shia identity in Iran. Ismail led his armies to expand the Safavid Empire. However, in 1514, the Ottoman Turks, possessing numerous guns and cannons, defeated his forces at a location called Chaldiran. This battle highlighted the power of modern weaponry. A later Safavid monarch was Shah Abbas the Great, who reigned from 1587 to 1629. He is regarded as the greatest Safavid ruler. Abbas relocated the capital to Isfahan and transformed it into a place of astonishing beauty. He constructed a vast square, now known as Imam Square. Surrounded by grand mosques and palaces, Shah Abbas also strengthened and modernized the army. He formed new military units loyal to him, like the Ghulams, and ensured they used the latest firearms and artillery. This diminished the power of the traditional tribal soldiers. The Safavids frequently fought protracted wars with the formidable Ottoman Empire. During the Safavid era, Iranian culture, art, and architecture reached a zenith. Persian influences spread to other lands. However, subsequent Safavid rulers lacked the same strength, and the government grew more intolerant of people with differing beliefs. 6 difficult years the Safavid rulers, who had introduced a new religious identity to Iran, gradually weakened. They ceased to be effective leaders. This caused the central government to lose its authority. The Safavid state weakened. Other groups perceived an opportunity to seize control. Afghans residing to the east of Iran invaded the nation. Their army was powerful, and they succeeded in defeating the Safavid forces. In a dreadful period, they seized the capital city of Isfahan. The city endured a grueling siege that lasted for many months. The fall of Isfahan in the year 1722 was an extremely difficult period for Iran. It resulted in widespread suffering and chaos throughout the land. But a formidable man named Nader Koli, a skilled soldier, rose to prominence. He assembled an army and commenced fighting against the Afghan invaders. Nader Koli fought with courage and successfully expelled the Afghans from Iran, liberating the country. After achieving these significant victories, Nader Koli assumed the title of Nader Shah and became the new king. Nader Shah proved to be a brilliant military strategist. He won numerous battles and expanded Iran's frontiers.
Alcide.
Invasion of India, returning with immense wealth and treasure, however. As his reign progressed, Nader Shah became notorious for his extreme cruelty. He was harsh towards his people, and his demands inflicted great suffering. After Nader Shah was assassinated in the year 1747, the country did not achieve peace. Instead, a long period of conflict and disorder ensued. Various tribal chiefs and military figures fought one another for supremacy over Iran. These were difficult and uncertain years. Eventually, a leader named Karim Khan Zand gained power in the southern and central regions of the country. He ruled from Shiraz and ushered in a period of greater peace and stability for several years. He is remembered as a just ruler, but following Karim Khan Zand's death, the struggle for power resumed. Ultimately, the Qajar family, who had been contending for power, emerged victorious. Aga Muhammad Khan Qajar seized complete control. The Qajar family then established a new dynasty, signifying a new line of kings to rule Iran, thereby ending this difficult period. Point 7. Kings and big problems. The Qajar kings governed Iran, but they faced numerous challenges. European nations, such as Britain and Russia, held significant power in Iran. Russia and Iran engaged in wars, resulting in Iran losing territory. Many people in Iran were dissatisfied with the kings. They also disliked the influence of foreign powers. This discontent led to a major event. In 1905, a revolution occurred. It was known as the Constitutional Revolution. People demanded a constitution to curtail the king's authority. They also wanted a majlis, which is a form of parliament where representatives could speak for the nation. During this period, oil was discovered in Iran. Oil became critically important for the country and for other nations. Following the revolution, many troubles still persisted in Iran. An army officer named Reza Khan gained power. He seized control of the country. He became the new king, adopting the name Reza Shah Pahlavi. Reza Shah aimed to make Iran modern and strong. He constructed new roads to facilitate the movement of people and goods. He built railways across the nation. He also established many schools so more children could receive an education. However, Reza Shah governed with immense power. He did not permit dissent against him. His rule was at times dictatorial. Then, a major global conflict began, World War II. During this war, armies from foreign countries entered Iran. This was a challenging time for the nation. Due to the war and foreign armies, Reza Shah was forced to leave Iran. After his departure, his son became the new king. The son's name was Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, and he became the next Shah of Iran. 8. The big change, and today Mohammad Reza Shah continued to govern the nation. He initiated significant reforms in the 1960s. He named it the White Revolution. It reformed land regulations for farmers. It also granted more rights to women. The country received substantial income from oil. However, many people remained poor. Some people were unhappy. They believed the Shah was overly aligned with Western countries. They also felt his government was repressive. A religious cleric, Ayatollah Khomeini, spoke out against the Shah. His words resonated with many people. In 1979, a major transformation occurred. A revolution took place. People took to the streets. The Shah was compelled to flee the country. Iran transformed into a new type of nation. It became an Islamic republic. Ayatollah Khomeini assumed leadership. The new government faced many challenges. It was a difficult period. Iran engaged in a long war with its neighbor Iraq. This war persisted for 8 years. It was an extremely hard and sorrowful time for the country. Many people lost their lives. After Ayatollah Khomeini's death, new leaders emerged. The country continued on its path. Later, Iran had disputes with some other nations in the world. These discussions and issues often concerned the country's nuclear program. Iran's story illustrates that its people possess a resilient spirit. They have an exceptionally rich culture. This culture continues to thrive and evolve. The nation's long history demonstrates it has consistently been an important place with its own distinct ideas. What portion of Iran's extensive history do you consider most fascinating, and for what reason?